Hey everybody, my name's Derek Dallas. I'm going to be your instructor for CSC 179 Digital Media Foundations, and I want to go over the course with you so that you get a pretty good idea of what you're going to be dealing with in the class, some of the expectations that I have, so that you have a pretty good feel for what the rest of the semester is going to be like. Now, one thing that's different about this particular class is that it's going to be run as a hybrid. And the hybrid class means that we're only going to meet once a week on Monday to go over the basics of what's expected for that week. We're going to talk about the topics, answer any questions, go over some basic procedures that you might need to be doing in the class, and help out in any way I can in that amount of time. And then the rest of the time you're going to be working on the projects, reading the lecture content, watching videos, and those kind of things to work on your projects. So the first thing I want to do is basically look at the syllabus for the class and go through that briefly with you. You need to read it fully so you understand it, and you'll be referring back to that from time to time if you need to. Again, this class is basically about building the foundational concepts and processes that you're going to be working with in the digital media program here at Parkland. And I'm going to be using different techniques to teach it. Basically, we're going to be looking at software. We're going to be looking at the software called processing, which is a scripting language that is used for data visualization, drawing images, photo image manipulation. It can be used for different types of animation. And it's just a really good way to learn principles of coding, and also in all our classes develop art skills and art understanding for building compositions. We'll be looking at software called Photoshop. It's a very popular software package, and you'll be working with that. And GameMaker as well. GameMaker is an open source game content creation software package. And if you don't have Photoshop, like I mentioned a minute ago, you can also use GIMP. I don't really mind if you don't use the actual software in the labs, and for the most part, you can do a lot of this stuff with open source things. Processing is an open source software package that you can access and download to your own machines. The class will be meeting in D207 in the D wing. We'll be meeting once a week, again on Mondays, at 9 o'clock. We'll be working at 9 a.m. and the class goes to 10:50. Now, if you were on my on-campus class, we'd also meet on Wednesday, but since this is a hybrid, you don't have the second class period to meet. So that's one nice thing. It opens up extra time in your extra space in your schedule, and so that's something to pay attention to as well. Make sure that you don't come on Wednesdays. I do have lab period, not lab period, I do have office hours during those times, so if you did need to speak with me about something, you could just come and talk with me during my office hours on Wednesdays. You can reach my office hour information by clicking on the office hours link. Apparently something's up with our browser here. I'll get that fixed so that works for some reason. I think our server might have gone down. We'll look at that, and that will give us the office hours. Currently, the office hours are Wednesday mornings 9 to 1, and a Thursday from 1 to 2. And my phone number is here. Again, there's no textbook for this class because we're going to pretty much be working through all the content that you need to know in class, and I will be assigning lynda.com lessons that you will be watching to help also learn some new content. The format of this class is going to be based on lectures, lecture content, going over the content that I want you to understand, whether it is a principle of design or a technique in programming, or a process using software. We'll be talking about it in lecture and in lab time, then working on the projects. We'll do screenings. We'll look at movies. We're going to be watching movies, discussing them, answering questions about them, writing short answers about what you've seen in films. We'll be creating content. We'll be creating images or animations or game content that you'll be creating. So it's a very creative oriented class. You'll be starting with concepts and then learning to bring them out through images in a variety of ways, not just Photoshop or processing, but in other ways as well. And so you'll need to come to class in order to learn about those things, in order to talk about what it is that you want to do, to get approval for the project ideas that you have, and to basically I can see what you're doing, making sure you're progressing in the right direction, and answer questions that that you might have. There's usually a wide variety of people in this class that have experience. Some people have no experience whatsoever, and some people have a lot of experience and have used certain aspects of the software before. And so that's great because everyone learns, because we can learn from one another, we can help each other, and share our experiences with other people. And then you can take a project that might be very simple, but then you can go beyond the basic requirements and push into new boundaries and learn new things. So there's always a chance to learn more and do more. The grading is going to be based on large-scale project assignments. There's 3 large-scale projects, and there is also small-scale studies that we'll be doing in class. Lots of little studies that we use in the classroom, and you'll be again using tutorials. I have a midterm where you have to do a midterm project based on what you know, and then the final exam is basically your final project, which is your fully developed game. And so you'll be working on those things as we go along. Everything that you learn will be going to make it possible for you to make that final project. Again, the grades reflect basically the projects make up 50% of your class grade. Your exams and your final make up the 25%, and I have movie review assignments that make up 25%. That's where you watch a movie and then you answer questions based on that. Grades are 90, 80, 70, 60, 50, below, and just make sure that you understand. Keep track of your grades as you go along so you're never surprised about things. The large projects that we do are going to be where you take the concepts that I present in class and then show that you understand them, show that you've developed the skills and the techniques needed to communicate some kind of idea. So I think about things like your design principles, your creativity, your concept development, and your craftsmanship, that you've actually spent time trying to make it look as good as you possibly can. And so we'll be critiquing those projects. Those get critiqued in class with everybody. And so we will want to make sure that you are prepared to show your work, that you receive feedback on that work, and then you can make changes to it. So you can always improve your project by adding to or removing things that don't need to be there, and which makes the project stronger. We'll do in-class studies where we do, like I say, smaller little homework where you will learn techniques and then learn how to apply those techniques in a better way, meaning you'll get better at them by doing it more and more and more. Just like any craft, as you learn something, it starts out pretty rough, but then as you do it more and get more comfortable with the techniques, you get better at it and learn to apply those techniques in appropriate places. Attendance is important. Coming to class, asking questions, being there is very important so that I can see that you are progressing properly, so that you can ask questions where we have enough time to answer them, and I can work with you and show you techniques and things that will be very helpful to the process. As we move along in the semester, you want to make sure that you are progressing. If for some reason you need to drop the class, please make sure you do that in time. Your withdrawal before a certain point in time so that you can get a refund, or you withdraw before your final grade is posted as an F. So be aware of those things. If you're not, if things aren't working out and you want to change courses, or not change courses necessarily, but change your plan and drop from the class, make sure you do that. It will be your responsibility to remove yourself from the class. Again, everything that we do in class, I want to make sure that your core values, the stuff that you do, make sure the work that you do is yours. It's easy to download images that aren't yours and download things that you didn't work on. It's really not helping you by doing that. I want you to be building skills and building your techniques and understanding of these principles. So skipping through all that and trying to present work that isn't yours isn't going to benefit anyone. It'll only end up being a problem for you. And so please always be mindful of those things. Have integrity, do your own work, and then grow from that wherever you are in your. Don't worry about your level compared to other people. Just make sure that you are pushing yourself and moving along for your own growth and your own understanding of these ideas. If you want to learn more about our computer science and information technology, what else we have to offer in our field, you can visit our website here. Other things to think about as you go through Parkland, if this is your first time through, you may consider the Education, Career, and Life Planning course that is available. It's very helpful in kind of getting yourself organized in a way to achieve success. So make sure that you are thinking about those things and planning them. It may be something very good for you to do, and many first-time students are taking that class. It may be required very soon. So make sure that you are considering something like that. We will be using the Parkland email system, which is through Cobra, and I have a link to using Cobra on the schedule that you can look at. And if you go to the schedule, you can see the basic intro to Cobra. You will want to make sure that you understand how to use that and you're able to log in, because that'll be how you communicate with me through email. If you believe you have a disability and you need assistance, make sure you see our the helpful folks in that department. That is in U260. Kathy Robinson is a person that you can communicate with and contact, and she can help you get assistance in any area that you might need. We have areas on campus that allow you to receive tutoring help. The Center for Academic Success down in D112. It's a place where you can go to get tutoring on courses, and it doesn't have to be digital media courses, but in English and math and science and biology. The TRIO program helps first-year students or students that are going to college for the first time with financial assistance, and that's something you might want to be looking at if you fall into that category. Our Department of Public Safety has a mass notification system you might want to be a part of, where you can get alerted if there's an emergency on campus or if there's severe weather, and it'll let you know the conditions on campus and as far as safety goes. We have technical services for you for using our STAR, the Student Technical Assistance and Resources Center. So make sure to check that out if you're having trouble. And we have links to our labs. We have our computer labs, and you need to understand when they're available, when they're open, using that to see when classes or when the classes are available and when the labs are open. Okay. So that goes over the basics of the syllabus, and that will help you kind of make sure you read through it, and that will give you kind of an overview of those kind of details for the syllabus.